So the battle between the billionaires came to an end. Can you guess who won? It's the internet's favorite meme reviewer, Elon Musk, of course. All this started when NASA handed over the lucrative contract of developing the first commercial human lander over to Musk's SpaceX in April. In this video, we talk about how SpaceX absolutely crushed Blue Origin in court, as well as give you updates on what else is going on with SpaceX and Blue Origin. Stay until the end of the video to find out what he did. First, here's a bit of context. To freshen your memory, NASA wanted someone to build an aircraft that would carry astronauts from the Orion spacecraft to the moon and use this Artemis mission to land the first woman and person of color on the moon. When the question about who to give this massive $2.9 billion contract to was raised, it was clear that nobody but the people who are planning to colonize another planet in the universe deserve this honor. But seeing this lucrative contract go over to SpaceX, fellow billionaire and space competitor Jeff Brezos could not help but object against it. And so, a series of unsuccessful protests with the Government Accountability Office followed, and Bezos himself wrote an open letter to NASA asking them to reconsider their decision. The Government Accountability Office concluded that NASA was not breaking any law by choosing SpaceX over Blue Origin and Dynetics, the other competitor for that matter, which was Bezos' space company. They also evaluated that it was completely fair of NASA to do so, considering SpaceX's credibility and the budget that they were offered by Congress. So Blue Origin, in a last-ditch effort, went and filed a lawsuit against NASA in August on grounds of their unlawful and frankly unacceptable evaluation of the proposals for the lunar lander contract, and we all know how that ended. Next, the lawsuit. Apparently, the ex-CEO of Amazon promised a waiver of $2 billion worth of money if NASA agreed to redirect the contract to Blue Origin, and also promised to self-fund a Blue Moon test launch, which was what his proposal was called, to a low Earth orbit, which cost a ton of money itself. He still ended up losing, however. In a redacted version of the lawsuit released by the U.S. Federal Court of Claims, Blue Origin claimed that NASA suspiciously disregarded key flight safety requirements for SpaceX, despite being a staunch supporter of it in the past, and that this was done solely to benefit SpaceX's proposal that was not only tremendously high risk, but very complex as well. Other claims included SpaceX's inability to meet material solicitation requirements and other technical issues. Federal Judge Richard Heré flat out denied these rulings, however, and sided with the defense. The opinion was not released publicly. NASA did say that there will be more opportunities for companies to collaborate with NASA in establishing a long-term human presence at the moon, so maybe that could lessen the blow of the defeat for Bezos. In other news, there has been stuff going on with SpaceX. Now, the threat of bankruptcy because of Starship. In October of 2021, the aerospace company's valuation increased to $100 billion following the secondary share sale, but recently, it seems like turbulence is not only in the sky now. In an email to his employees, Elon Musk expressed his anger at the lack of progress in the development of Raptor engines, which are used to power SpaceX's Starship rocket. This company-wide email was sent a day after Thanksgiving and indicated that the Raptor production crisis had become much worse than it was a few weeks ago. Musk wrote, "We face genuine risk of bankruptcy if we cannot achieve a Starship flight rate of at least once every 2 weeks next year. Starship is the giant rocket that SpaceX is developing to launch cargo, as well as people, on missions to the moon and Musk's favorite planet, Mars. The Starship production and testing facility steadily came about in Boca Chica, Texas, where they have tested multiple prototypes and even flown short flights, but in order to carry out orbital launches, the rocket prototypes need a good sum of 39 Raptor engines, which highlights just how crucial its production is." Musk's email also stressed how important the departure of Will Heltze, former vice president of propulsion, was earlier this month. Heltze was removed from Raptor development before his leave was permanent, and Musk said that the company's leadership became part of the program's problems ever since. The circumstances were far more severe than Musk originally believed. He even forgoed his Thanksgiving break and worked on Friday and into the weekend to turn around what he called, frankly, a disaster of a situation back to normal. Musk is hoping to launch the first orbital Starship flight in January or February. We'll definitely be looking forward to that. It seems like SpaceX is not the only aerospace company facing turmoil this month. Now Blue Origin, or Amazon 2.0. So Bezos is now focusing his ultimate attention on his space company after stepping down from the Amazon CEO position, but it looks like his worst fears are coming to haunt him. Blue Origin is currently facing a sharp increase in the employee turnover rate, which, it was noted, stemmed from the pressure CEO Bob Smith asserted on employees to return to office. This attrition, which had never increased beyond 12.7% per year, was already 20%, and 2021 hasn't even ended. While Smith strived to reassure that the company had no tolerance for any kind of discrimination or harassment, the employees, who wished to remain anonymous, begged to differ. Apparently, Smith's strong push for all employees to start working this year was not what the majority wanted. The so-called Blue Back Together plan still came about despite hundreds of employees employees signing a petition to, at the minimum, consider a hybrid model. Smith did not even bother to acknowledge the petition, sources said. Instead, he went on to spend millions of dollars on rent for an expansion office space near the company's headquarters, insisting on every single employee to come back into the office by September with no room for a hybrid model. Smith even moved on to ban remote work. And that was not all. As part of Smith's plans to return employees back to the office, a COVID vaccination disclosure program was initiated by the CEO himself in May. This is how it worked. A green dot on your company badge would indicate that you have been vaccinated. How compassionate, right? This initiative to anyone would look like it was born on a good faith basis, but in actuality, employees merely had to ask the office receptionist for the circular green stickers to add to their badge, that is, without providing any credible proof of vaccination. Later, to fix this flaw, Blue Origin did add a paper sheet for employees to sign on before receiving a green dot, but despite this, no one had to show a vaccine card or even verbally inform when they had received it. In addition to the apparent disregard for the safety of its employees, Blue Origin, according to 21 employees, a mix of both current and former ones, has a toxic workplace. These allegations were mentioned in an essay, which was led by former Blue Origin head of employee communications, Alexandra Abrams. The essay mentions that the company pushes workers to sign strict non-disclosure agreements, pushes aside any internal feedback, disregards safety concerns, and creates a sexist environment for women. It also gave samples of alleged harassment. When the vice president of communications at Blue Origin, Linda Mills, was asked about the issue, she said that Abrams was dismissed for cause in 2019 after repeated warnings for issues involving federal export control regulations. Abrams had different opinions. She insisted that she, although fired, never received any warnings, verbal or written, from management regarding issues involving federal export control regulations. The essay noted that workforce gender gaps, although not absent in the space industry, were a little special at Blue Origin. A senior executive in CEO Smith's loyal inner circle was frequently mentioned in emails of sexual harassment complaints to the company's HR, but despite this, he was given an important position in the company. Another example talked about a former executive who was demeaning toward women, calling them baby doll, baby girl, or sweetheart, and inquiring about their dating lives. The essay mentioned that Blue Origin would warn new female employees to keep their distance from the executive, who allegedly had a close personal relationship with Bezos. He was taken care of, unlike the former person, though, but only physically groping a female subordinate. This work environment is anything but what Smith claims it to be, and really contains some similarities to the one at Amazon's. We can only hope that gender discrimination and harassment, at least at work, are properly addressed in the future. Now, about the moment we're all waiting for. How did Elon Musk respond to Jeff Bezos' defeat? While Bezos went on Twitter to express his disappointment at the court's decision, saying that it was not the result he was hoping for, and also to wish the best for NASA and SpaceX, Elon Musk responded with a meme. Yes, you heard us. Musk tweeted an image from the movie Judge Dredd with the words, "You have been judged," as a reply to an article by CNBC about the ruling. Well, that was concise and effective. So that's all we have for you guys. Do you think we'll get to see another Neil Armstrong soon? Let us know in the comments down below, and leave a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want to hear more from us. Bye, guys.